The number one reason why you're not getting hired is because the thinking behind that I'm qualified for this job, so I will get this job. Now, here's the news. Everybody that has been invited for that interview is equally qualified. But what I'm about to share with you on how to fix this problem is going to make the difference between you and the rest of the other candidates. So without further ado, let's get started. Now that we have identified that it is not you being qualified that is going to really get you the job, let's ask ourselves, what is really the thing that they are after? And that is why they invited you for an interview. And here's the simple answer. It is how you communicate your qualification, your experience, adding up to make you the best candidate for that position, the ideal candidate for that position. The moment you have been invited for an interview, it shows that you have already qualified on paper to be the person for that job. However, they have also received other applications, and these other people seem equally qualified just as you are. So when you get to that interviewing room, it is for you to prove that you are the ideal client. And this is how you go about it, how you communicate it. Don't just think, I'm only qualified, I'll get the job. It starts from the first question. Tell us about yourself. And how you answer that question will set the pace for the rest of the interview. And I've done a video on how you can answer that, but let me just break it down. 4 steps for you to answer the question. Number 1, you can introduce yourself, tell them your name. Number 2, talk about your qualification, only relevant qualification to that job. Number 3, your experience and only relevant experience to the position. And the 4th bit, and this is where most people don't get it right, connecting the experience that you've already gotten, the qualification you have, to this specific job. This is where you go back and you look at your background and you become very selective and pick the things in your experience, background, in your qualification that will just showcase how you have actually been preparing to take on this position. Let me give you an example so that we can be very clear on this. So here I have picked a job description. This is for an administrative assistant at the UN, and some of the responsibilities, if you get this job, this is what you'll be doing. That is, provide program support, including administrative and logistical support to the process of conducting evaluations. And that will involve maintaining an active register of all the reports, responding to information requests received by the evaluation officers, and drafting responses for director's signature on requested information. Also maintaining an up-to-date consultant roster. I can also act as the travel administrator for non-staff personnel and create travel request and expense report in accordance with the UN regulation, rules and processes, and the other responsibilities. But I just want to pick on this and show you how you answer the question. So if I am going for that interview and I am qualified for the job, I've looked at the job description, I have already met the qualification, I can do those roles or I've done them before. So that is why they actually invited me for the interview. So the question goes, tell us about yourself, or would you mind sharing about yourself? Or how do you introduce yourself? It can come in different ways. And this is how I'd respond. My name is Mutuku. I have a bachelor's degree in business administration, and over the last 7 years, I've been working as an office administrator. I believe that I am the ideal candidate for this position because I saw you're looking for someone who can be able to maintain registers of all the reports and also maintain an up-to-date consultant roster. As a matter of fact, from my previous role, I was the one in charge of keeping a register of all the reports and also updating the reports in the database. And I would maintain also the correspondence between the researchers and the evaluation officers. I am also the right candidate because I used to do the travel arrangements for both internal and external teams. If we had a team going out for a conference or for a research, I would get their tickets, I would book their hotels, I would make sure that they have a seamless travel from maybe the airport or the train station to their hotels, and being moved around to the places where they need to go. I am very efficient in that. So you can see from this example, I moved from talking about myself and how I am qualified for this position. And it is that shift of communicating your value and what you're bringing on board that really gets you hired. Not because you're qualified, but how you communicate the qualification to them. Not because you have the right requirements, not because you have just the experience they are looking for, but how you communicate that experience to them on a one-on-one conversation, not just on paper. And here is the last thing that is going to be a game changer, and that is your personality. It is how you show them that you're human and you are similar to them. You just like them. By the way, did you know that when someone tells you, I like you, they're actually saying, I'm like you. And there are several things that you can do to show the interviewers that you are like them. How? Number one, try to maintain eye contact and also have a smile on your face. Try as much as possible to have the interview be like a conversation, not more of a question and answer session. They ask, you answer. They ask, you answer. You can just structure the answers to sound as if you're just having a conversation with a friend. And the other thing is, if you are able to mirror some of their maybe actions or how they are behaving or their positions, that will also be an added advantage. Though this might not be possible most of the time, but if you're able to do that, then go ahead and mirror them. I can tell you that how you perform in an interview has very little to do with your qualification, but your likability. And that is what will get you hired. If you'd like more advice on how to grow in your career, feel free to contact me. Take a link in the description of this video where you can book a free consultation call with me. Also, take a look at this video. Make sure you like this one, subscribe to the channel, and until my next video, I'm out.